Hello, good evening. I'm Claire. Welcome back to Purple Poppy. So tonight I thought we'd carry on with this journal that I've started, the one with the raised lettering on the cover. Now, it was always my intention that this would be different to any other journal that I'd done before, in that rather than it being all cut down and within the cover that we usually do like a book, I wanted this to be more like a used diary or a folder. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I've had a diary, it gets all sorts of bits tucked into it and it gets very fat and all the pages end up, sort of different sizes because of things that you tuck in. So that's how I've set about doing this one. So I'm going to take the cover off for a moment and get rid of that. So what I've done is I've got a group of papers together. I'm not quite finished, there will be others, but you can see, I'm sorry, lots of noise in the street tonight, the windows are open. As you can see, all of the pages are different sizes and shapes to marry my idea of it being more of a folder with everything being different. So the first page is this vintage ledger. So I'm not going to cover that up at all. I'm going to leave that. I might put a little pocket or some lace or something on it. The second page is this brown masking paper that I used to make my bags with. And I've just put some snippet roll on the edge there. Now this snippet roll is a combination of fabric and paper. And as you can see, it's been sewn on 3 lines. So that's on that page. And then this one is a very rough shaped tissue paper. Now it's double-sided tissue paper, but I've deliberately only glued through the middle so you've got this rough worn edge. And I've done some collage on that page. And then this page is actually a printout of an old receipt. We've all got these in various kits. And what I've done is I've folded into the actual receipt to give me this wideish flap, and I'm going to use that as like a hinge, and I'm going to sew that into the journal. So that's only as it were a single page rather than the normal double. And again, obviously it's very different size. And then the next one is actually an envelope, and that's the one that I thought I would work on decorating with you tonight. And we'll see if we get on to this torn odd shaped coffee dyed one. So I'm going to pull the envelope out, and then when I'm doing this, what I usually do is put it really high so I know where it was. Not that they always end up in the same place anyway, but there you go. So this is a standard letter envelope. I believe it's called a C6 or something. And I've got here various papers. Now these are various scrapbooking and papers. I thought this one I would use because obviously it's got a map, so I can use that in there somewhere. This is an old newspaper. It's not a true vintage newspaper. This was something that came with a commemorative film, DVD film. So I'm going to be using those at some point. And this is obviously part of a Tim Holtz pad. You can see it's got these various, these are like ATC type cards, aren't they, on that? So I'm going to be using some of those. And then I've got this one, which is just like a map sort of the world with aeroplanes. And I thought, as this is the hotel, they might have visitors or things, so I'm going to use that. But what I want to use here is this one. Now we have got some pinky colours in that cover, and I thought this scrapbook page we could pretend that this is an image of the outside of the hotel. What do you think? So there's the windows, yeah? So I'm going to start by doing that. So I'm just going to take my woolly off, so you don't keep seeing all the fluffy sleeves. I'm going to start with my PVA. I'm going to run it all the way around my envelope. Now, this is obviously not vintage or anything like that. It's just a pack of envelopes I got from the local shop. I notice a lot of people when they buy envelopes, they tend to buy the white ones. For me personally, I like to have the manila ones. Yeah, these like manila ones, because I feel it just, well, it looks a bit older. Now you'll have to excuse me, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've done something to my hand. I don't know what and I don't know how, but the front two fingers are refusing to apply any pressure. I nearly dropped the kettle earlier. It's very bizarre. It's a bizarre feeling. There is a little tiny bit of me that is a little bit scared that maybe I've got a bit of arthritis or something brewing in there, which I really don't want to think about or admit to. So I'm keep telling myself that I've bashed my hand somehow, and I'm hoping and praying that that's what it is. I'm just going to use my card to smooth out that glue. Okay, this is the same card that we used for our modelling paste. Okay, ta-da, that's that one. It's slightly off skew there. That's because I did it upside down, didn't I? And I'm just thinking, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that side as well, so that it flaps round in the journal. So I'm going to do the flap, and I'm going to put the flap over and press it down. Okay. And then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to tear that across the top. It is very noisy in the street tonight. I do apologise. I hope it's not bothering you too much. Okay, so that's that one. And then obviously we're going to want to wrap that over and tuck it inside a little bit. So I'm going to tear it about there, like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold it down that edge of that flap, like that. Okay, so we'll be able to glue that down, but that should be too wide to go inside. Yeah, it's too wide to go inside. So what I'm going to do, I'm just checking that return of the envelope there, you see it's further over than that point there. So if we use our scissors, because that's very thin, that edge, if we use our scissors and we cut this line here like that around the flap, okay, and this one the same, like that, that should now, oh, you see, look, now I've cut it short. Oh, how stupid of me. Oh, right, okay, cancel that. Hey, you know what they say? There's nothing as honest as making a mistake. So I'm just going to rip that off there now. Bum, bum, bum. And I think what I'll do is I'll use a different piece of paper to go inside. Because we messed that up well and truly. And, well, now we're going to have to use something else. So, and it would help if I put the lid on my glue, because my glue's all escaping. Oh, goodness gracious me. See, it's because I'm thinking about my hand. So I've got some coffee dyed paper here. And that's slightly too... short that way. So let's do it that way. Tear it off. In case you haven't yet realised, I am a no edit girl. I do not edit my videos. What happens is what you see. You know, what the end result is what actually happened in the video. Like doing that wrong. I don't edit. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't understand technology enough. I'm just going to trim it. I don't understand technology enough to be confident enough to do it without deleting it, and then I'd be really cross with myself. And secondly, I figure the honesty of the mistake is good. And I don't know about you, but I've always found the way I learn is by mistakes. So I am happy to show my mistakes. We are none of us perfect. And let's be honest, if you wanted perfection, you wouldn't be here watching me in the first place. I don't do perfection. I try to do something well and something interesting, but I don't strive for perfection, because I figure that striving for perfection just basically is a road for stress. You see, I can't even get this in here now. Perhaps this was not the project for tonight. There we go. Okay, so we've got him in. And obviously not only is this making our envelope prettier than the brown manila than we started with, but it is obviously improving the strength of it. So just now trim these off. Okay, like that. Find my fold point, which is there, I believe. Right, so let's just okay, roll that over, press him down. Okay, there we go. Goodness me, I feel like that was an awfully long time to do a very simple, ridiculous task. But anyway, there you go. So there's our hotel frontage. We've got some nice old plain coffee dyed paper in there. I'm now going to use some of this old newspaper to cover this area here. Okay. So I'm going to run my glue back round here. So I have been watching some Netflix. Now I've got to be honest and say I don't watch a lot of television. It's a bit of a contradiction in terms. My television is on probably all day long. I turn it on with my breakfast and I listen to the morning news before I go about my business. Okay, fine. But when I get up to do my household jobs or whatever, I don't come here and do crafting. Shh. I don't turn the telly off, because I'm one of these people, I like background noise. Now I've turned it off now, so obviously it doesn't disturb you guys. So yeah, my telly is on basically 24/7. But I watch it for probably about an hour. No, more than that. Probably about 40 minutes in the morning and about an hour at night. So probably, you know, 2 hours would be a fair indication of how much TV I watch during the course of the day. Therefore, it cannot be said that, you know, I generally know what's on TV or what's good to watch or what's not. And my 2 daughters are always saying, have you seen this, Mum? Have you seen that, Mum? And I'm like, nah, no. And deep down, they know there's no point asking me because they know I won't have seen it. But my eldest daughter said to me, Mum, you really must watch The Fall. It's a programme on Netflix. Well, we do have Netflix, so fine. And trust me, you'll love it. So I was like, okay. Well, obviously, she knows me pretty well, does my eldest daughter. So if she says that I'm going to love it, I'm pretty happy to believe that. So I think it was Saturday afternoon. Oh yes, when my videos kept going wrong, I felt like I'd earned some downtime because everything was going wrong. So I set myself down in front of the TV with a nice hot cup of coffee and some Netflix. So I turned on this The Fall and I started watching it. Well, I watched it. Oh, sorry. And it was okay, you know, and I thought, okay, well, I'll watch the next one, as you do. And then my coffee had run out and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go and get another cup of coffee. So I'm just trying to decide which one of these papers I want on here. Take notice. So I went and got, oh, I like this one. So I went and got a cup of coffee. And I'm watching it. And the next thing I know, hubby appears. And he looks at me. And I look up because I'm aware he's standing there. And he's chuckling. And I'm like, what's funny with you? And he says, I'm used to foregoing dinner for crafting, but not the TV. And I looked at him and I went, don't be daft, it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And he's like, is it now? And I look up and I've been now watching this thing for like 3 hours. And it's late in the afternoon, dinner should be on and it's obviously not. And oh dear. So needless to say, I am loving this thing. So then we're sitting there eating dinner and he says, so what's so great about this thing then? Because you don't watch TV. I said, I don't know, it's just like really addictive. So he said, well, we're obviously not going out. There's nothing to do. So if you want to, you know, put it back on, go for it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do any paper because I've got the ump with crafting. Not actually crafting, but the whole fact that, you know, my YouTube's not working properly and blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, we'll put it back on. So he's like sitting there and I'm waiting for him to get up and wander off on the basis that this is really boring and I don't know how you're watching this. And you know what men are like. And all of a sudden I realise he's probably more engrossed than I am. So we're both sitting there glued to this TV, which is absolutely unheard of. Well, needless to say, that was Saturday afternoon. It's now Wednesday evening and we are into the 3rd season. It's shameful. I feel really, really naughty. I can't believe I have watched so much of this thing. But there you go, eh? I suppose when it's good, it's good. So my daughter was right. She knew I would enjoy it. I don't obviously want to tell you in case you are watching it and you're not as far along as I am or you're going to go and watch it. So I don't obviously want to ruin it for you. But I'll tell you a little bit so you can get an idea. If you haven't already seen it, you know, advertised, or you're not already watching it or whatever, in that, so you can see obviously it's not rocket science. I've just put a bit of cheesecloth under there just for a bit of background interest. So basically it's I suppose it's a crime show, you know, and there's a detective or a group of detectives, police officers, whatever, trying to solve crime of a serial killer. Now obviously I don't want to tell you much more than that, because it will start to tell you the story. But yeah, it's, well, for me it's really good. I'm stuck to it, and hubby's just gone off out with Boo, and I've got like an hour's quiet time while they're doing their walk to spend with you lovely people. And as he went out the door, he said, and when I come back, we'll have dessert, because we've had dinner, but no afters or pudding or whatever your term is. We'll have dessert and we'll do a bit of the full. So he's suckered in and thinking about it more than I am now. Oh dear. You know, I hear about people binge watching Netflix and things all the time, and I've never quite understood properly what it meant. I mean, obviously I understand the wording, but I've never understood what it meant to, well, basically just sit for almost forever and watch this program. But hey ho, I'm doing it. Very, very naughty. I am doing it. Right, I'm going to have a look in my little lace pot here. This is actually a sweet tub from the other Christmas, and I thought I did. I've got some. Let's pull it out. Where is it? Oh, you see, I should get some of those cards and wrap my laces up a bit better, shouldn't I? I've got some of this Paris ribbon, so I thought maybe we could run that down there, or do I want a little bit of it there? No, I'm going to leave that basically like that, and I'm going to run it down here. So let's do a Fabri-Tac line. So it's nice to see that there's a few of you decided to take up the giveaway and get your comments in. See if you can get picked by the random generator. It's just so awesome to have you all here, and to realise that while I'm sitting here like some crazy old woman chatting away to myself while I craft, in actual fact you're all with me. Now I know you're not literally with me. Obviously I am not totally crazy old woman. I'm a little bit loony, but then I think in the world today you've got to be a little bit loony to survive. I just think it's awesome. It just makes me really happy that I can bring any kind of inspiration to you or give you an idea, you know. Because also I'm conscious, I know with me, I watch somebody's video and it makes me think of doing something else. So, you know, like I'm doing this, for example. Well, if I was watching somebody else do that, I might go, oh, I won't put a ribbon down there. I'll put it round and tie it up like it's all big, big secret. So, you know, if I can give you any kind of inspiration or ideas, that is absolutely awesome. So let's move all that over a little bit. And let's put our envelope back in our book so we know where he is. He goes in there, doesn't he, you see? Like that one. In there. Open. Put him down. Okay? And you see now, by having all these pages, all different sizes, you see a little bit of everything every time. Whereas normally it's not till you actually, you know, turn over the entire page you start to see something. So this one, I think I am basically going to just ink up the edges and leave it be, because I think the very shape of it does our job for us. So I may come back at some point and put some lace or something on it. I may use it as one of the blank pages that I choose to look, my thing's coming off now, goodness me. One of the blank pages that I choose to put an altered paper clip on, or a altered postcard or something like that. So for now I'm just going to ink up this edge using the pad because my sponge is falling off. Honestly, I'm falling apart. Dodgy sponge, dodgy hand, crazy. Anyway, there you go. So a little bit on this edge where it's folded. Like that. And I'm just going to, look, just rub over it and pick up those crease lines. There's none on this side. So that one can go back, and I'm going to call that, whoops, going to call that done. So I put him back there. I'm going to leave this page as well. This one I think I want to use for my, this is a freebie from Artie Mays. So what I want to do here is I'm going to tear down this line here, like so, like that, and across the top and the bottom, like that. And then what I want to do with this is I want to fold this page back. So how wide is this? This is about, right, so I'm going to go about halfway, like that. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to apply this. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the oh no, because the underside. Do 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 do. Right, no, I'm going to use something else for there. I'm going to put this somewhere else. What I want for here, you see, is I want a strip that makes that pretty, but I don't actually want to make it into a pocket. I just want it to fold backwards and forwards, if that makes sense. So I'm just looking through the papers that I've got here. Now this might be the one that we use this on. I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it out. I'm just going to glue up that edge like that. Okay, and again, you know, what I'm doing with you tonight is far from rocket science. It's just joining me while I work on this journal. Obviously, I expect you have a million times glued paper to paper and folded it over. You know, it's nothing special. I just wanted to come along and share what I was doing with you, really. So there you go. share my story about my discovery of binge watching Netflix. I'm sorry, I think it's really funny. I can't believe that at my age I've not binge watched TV, but there you go. Okay, now I know I've got a bit here and I know I've got a bit here, but I think that all adds to this tatty journal look that we've got going on with this project. So now pop that one in there. There you go. See, so now already it's starting to look how I imagined it would. In the, hang on, let's find that fold. There's the fold. In that it is all scrappy and different and odd. So look, if we put it in here, we can see that, you know, it all sticks out from the folder, and then as we obviously it'll be sewn in, as we open it, it's all scrappy and messy. And this is basically because I wanted to rebel and not have a nice standard neat little book. There you go. So that's where we've got up to so far. The next one obviously is this splodged envelope. That splodging comes from Yvonne Preston. And I've already done some stenciling on this white hessian, but we'll look at that next time. So there you go, 3 pages for you tonight. I hope you've enjoyed them. You wasn't too bored. Let me know about your binge watching. And I have to go and watch some more The Fall now, I guess. Take care. Happy crafting. See you soon. Bye for now.